Alright, good morning everybody. Monday morning, and we are finally getting a beautiful day today. It's supposed to be pretty much wall-to-wall sunshine. I don't know if we're going to have any clouds at all. If they are, they're going to be high wispy things. The only thing that might dim the sun a little bit today is Canadian wildfire smoke. They said it might drift down in the upper levels and kind of give us a hazy sun later on. I don't think we'll get any kind of smoky conditions down here at the surface, but it may dim the sun a little bit. But right now we got some nice blue skies. Some high cirrus clouds, and it's going to be a gorgeous day, maybe 70, 75 degrees. So can't ask for better. So far, tentatively, we have two from Tamaqua down to Fogelsville, and then we have two that are going to go to Redding from a different location that we usually don't go to get water. Other drivers do, but I don't. So that'll be something different for you guys to see. But anyway, in a little while we're going to get going. We just finished washing the truck. Now that we have 4 or 5 consecutive beautiful days coming up, I decided to wash the truck and make it look all pretty. So we'll talk to you out on the road in our travels. All right, so we are rolling out, get the first one. And like I said, it was going to be a beautiful day, and you can see it. There is not a cloud in the sky, and I don't know if we're going to see any clouds at all today. Sometimes later in the afternoon, you get a little bit of cloud buildup, but we may just have these blue skies all day long with no clouds, which is rare because of how much rain we had last month. Probably 25 of the 31 days had rain, and almost every one of them had clouds. There weren't very many nice days last month at all, but here we are June 2nd, and it is just flat out gorgeous. Temperature on the truck says it's 63 degrees. Probably gonna go up to about 70 today, so pretty much just a gorgeous day. We'll need a jacket, maybe last load. If we are out past sunset, might need a jacket. Might be cooling off because the air is very dry, so when you have dry air, it cools off right quick. Out in Arizona, it was nothing to have a 95 degree day, and then at night it'd go down to 40 or 45, especially out of the city. So with the dry air, it'll probably cool off yet tonight. So, but yeah, it's just flat out beautiful. Hopefully we have a good day today. Hopefully our working conditions match our weather conditions. That would be very nice. So go up to Tamaqua, get the first one, and head down there, see if we're gonna end up having to sit and wait to unload, or if we can get in and right out. We can get in and right out and get up there and get the second one out of Tamaqua, and we'll be in good shape for the 2 Redding loads later on today. So we shall see, but we'll talk to you up at the well when we're loading. Stop recording. Alright, so we're here loading the first one up for Fogelsville. We took the liberty of having the moment to climb up on top and write down the seal number on the hatch, or the dome lid as you would, because when we go down to Redding, we got to give them that information. They're the only customer that wants it, but they want the tank wash ticket date, and they want the seal number from the dome lid on every bill of lading. So I went up there and wrote it down because I couldn't remember it. I wrote it down the other day when I went there, but I couldn't remember it. So I got to put it on a piece of paper, stick it in the truck so that I can remember it each time I have to go over there. But we're loading up here on this beautiful day. Got the truck behind me. She's all nice and pretty and clean and shiny, and just stay that way most of the week. We might not get showers till Friday. So other than some parking lot dust, she'll be looking pretty good all week long. Alright, so we got loaded and out of that well just in time, because when we came down the end of the road to the traffic light to turn left on 309, when we got the green light, there was an oversized load coming down south out of Tamaqua. So we are ahead of him, which is a good thing, because you don't know how slow he's going to go. Some of these big oversized loads only do like 30 miles an hour, and then they take up a lane and a half, and you can't pass them, and then you're crawling up the mountain and crawling all the way down to Fogelsville. So we kind of got out ahead of them, which is a good thing. We can keep on moving. Not that it makes much difference though, but because I heard that it's going to be one at a time. I talked to our other driver. I guess the silos are full down there, so it's a one at a time operation. I don't know how many trucks are down there, but we will have to wait our turn to unload. So been there, done that, so part of the game. But that's how it's going to be today. It's not going to be easy in and out. So our first 2 loads may take a little bit of time. Once we get over at Reading, that should go a little bit better, although they can sometimes take a lot of water, and what ends up happening over there is you sit and wait on trucks. It's not that they can't handle the water, it's just that they are at one at a time unload as it is, because there's only 2 pumping stations, 1 for each silo, and each silo corresponds to a certain well location. So the one we're going to is silo 1, which is usually the busier silo. So we may have to wait on a truck that's still there unloading when we get there. So it may end up being a pretty long day today, depending on how things play out. But I guess if you're going to have a long day, it's not so bad when it's a beautiful day like this. Long rainy days kind of tend to get a little on the miserable side. You just kind of want to get them done and over with when it's raining and cold and miserable and windy and everything else. So if you're going to have a long day and a 12-hour solid day, I'd rather have it on a nice day than a crappy one. But we are climbing the blue, so we'll talk to you down there and let you know what we encounter when we get there. Alright, coming down here to the Applewood light, and now in the summertime you can't see if this light's red or green until you get to this point here. In the wintertime you can see almost from the top of the hill what color this light's going to be. I almost wish that PennDOT would put one of those lighted signs or worded signs back there that says when this light is red and when it's green. There are intersections that have that. It says signal ahead, and then when it turns red, it'll flash, the red word will flash, it'll say red signal ahead. And it's kind of like timed that when it says red, maybe you have a second before you get there. It works out that you know it's red when it's a signal that you can't see from around a bend or over a hill or something like that. And that's a place that needs one of those. Because like I said, in the winter you can see it, but in the summer you can't. So, but we're almost here. Coming down here on Weiss Shopping Center, and I'm surprised we got this light green. A lot of times it turns on us when there's cars sitting there, but we got the other one up here that's red. If we creep up on it, maybe it will turn green before we get there. I don't know. We won't have to come to a complete stop, but it looks like we're gonna have to. So, yep. And I don't know, we're pretty far back here until we get going on this hill, and oh man, I think we are in regen mode again. Idling pretty high. Yeah, I think we are regenning. That means it's going to be stinky. When these things regen, they stink. Let's see if it holds green till we get through it. Yep, it did. So, we're almost there. Saw a couple of our trucks going back northbound, so it must be moving, but probably just a little bit on the slower side. Here comes one now. This ain't ours, but oh, that's a different kind of tanker. Can't judge by that one. But anyway, we're coming down here to Tillman Street Light. We're almost there, so we'll talk to you when we get there. All right. They're empty and rolling on out. I didn't get a chance to talk to you guys outside because there were a number of trucks here, and it's a nice day out today, so we were out getting some sunshine and having some good conversation, so I really couldn't bring the camera out and talk to you. So they went one at a time, but we weren't really here all that long. Actually there for a moment it was 1.5 trucks at a time. So actually, well, it was actually 2 trucks at a time. It was one at a time, and then the guy I parked next to, he was able to start his pump halfway through the other truck, and by the time it got to me, another truck had come in, and we were both able to pump at the same time. So improving down here. So it was up to 2 trucks at a time. So maybe by the time I get down here with load number 2, we'll be able to get right on the pad and not even have to wait, which would be nice. So now we go up to Tamaqua and get the second one and come on back down. Loads 3 and 4 are going to be interesting because I haven't pulled out of that well in quite a while. And I don't know how crowded it's going to be because there's a number of other trucks that go in and out of there. So I don't know what it's going to be like when I get there. Same thing when I get to the plant. Like I said, I may have to wait on a truck over there. It just depends on how much volume, how many trucks are moving. We may be waiting on each other over there if we're all dumping in the silo number 1. So we will see when that time comes, but right now things are going pretty good. Truck is in regen mode, like I told you about. That's the only thing. Every time I come to a stop at a traffic light, you get that smell. Hopefully it does a quick regen and that stops. Oh, speaking of stopping, we've got to sit here and wait because we've got one coming. Yeah, it's on high idle right now. It's idling at 800 RPM because it's in regen mode. It usually idles at only like 650 under normal mode. So usually takes about 2 rounds for the regen to complete itself. The problem is we just don't get up to highway speed that much. It's all 2-lane road type running, so we can't really just cruise and get that regen done quickly. Nothing coming either way. We're good. Probably won't be like that on the next one, as I told you. When it comes to, if you're down here at shift change and half these places are letting out for the day, and it becomes a bit of a problem trying to make a left out of there. And it also becomes a problem, and even more of a problem sometimes, trying to make a left up here where we cross these railroad tracks. I keep the camera on and show you. Oh, it looks like if we scoot, we'll be able to make it. But there's a plant down there that lets out, and when they let out, they just keep on coming, and you sit here for like 5 minutes waiting to make this left turn. So that's one of the reasons why I go out the other way, like between 3 and 5 o'clock. So, but anyway, we're rolling, and we'll talk to you either somewhere along the way up or again back at the well like we always do. Alright, well, we're back for more. Got our second one to get out of here, and I guess nobody's been here in between my last load and this load because the pad is completely dry already. This June sun dries everything out nice and quick. So that means it should have recovered just a little bit. We may be able to pump over 300 gallon per minute, but it takes a few hours for the well to recover totally. So we aren't going to be up over 400 just yet. All right, so as you see, we're here at the second one. Like, nobody was here in between our last load and the one we just came up to get. So in a minute, we're going to walk inside and see if the rate improved any. You got to let it settle down. When you first turn it on, you get a burst that's running right up 500 gallon a minute, but then it settles into what it's going to run at. So we're going to check it in a minute and see. So we jumped up another 100 gallon a minute. We were running between 200 and 250 on the last load. We're running up there about 350. So it does recover over time if you don't put too many trucks in here. Now I won't be coming back here. I'll be going over to another location to load. But later on when somebody comes up here, it may be back to normal depending on how long it is between my load and their load. All right, so we had the place all to ourselves. There was one here when I got here, but he was just buttoning up and getting ready to leave. So by the time I went in and checked in and did all my computer work in there, came out and hit the start button, he was gone. So we got it all to ourselves. Everything back to normal down here too. It was one at a time before, then it was two at a time, and now it's lights on when we get here. So make quick work of this one and then head on north to our other well and get that load that's heading out to Reading. We got two of those, as I told you, so we'll see how that goes. I loaded in that one about a month, maybe 2 months ago, so I'm not real familiar with it. I never really did load out of there before, so that should be a bit of a learning curve, and then I'm putting it in a different silo, so I got to figure out where I'm going to set up so that the hose reaches and I can do what I need to do. Because most of these places we know right where we need to put the trucks to get the hose to connect. But if you haven't been somewhere before, then it's trial and error until you get it just right. So we'll see if I get it right or if I have to move it forward, backward, and get it right after the fact. But anyway, pump just kicked into high gear. 20 minutes from now, we'll be rolling on out of here. All right, so moving right along, we're almost to the location, and since I haven't been here that many times, I had to use Google Maps. Well, I didn't have to use Google Maps, but it makes it easier because I have a feeling this turn's gonna sneak up on me. I kind of know where it's at, but the rural areas sometimes hard to pick up where the turn is, but it's coming up. But I just used I just decided to throw the Google Maps on so that I could not get caught off guard, have to slam on the brakes and turn quicker than I would like to turn. But a quarter mile and then I'm gonna make my turn. So see, it gives me time to prepare because I don't know landmarks. I haven't been out this way. I mean, I've been out this way, but I haven't gone to this well in a while, so once I'm here a couple times, then I'm going to know how to do it, and I won't need directions. I don't need directions to any of the other places that I go to. So, kind of a reverse turn. Like kind of a bit of a reverse turn there to get on here, so like I said, it can sneak up on you kind of quick. But anyway, now when we get back here, there's only one hose, but two trucks can park side by side and one will have to wait their turn. I don't know if there's going to be one truck in here, two trucks in here, or no trucks in here. Find out when we get here. Procedure is pretty much the same as the Red Barn location. Some of the nuances are a little bit different, but the general idea is the same. They're both owned by the same person, so they're very similar. Kind of a cool road to get back in here. Nice scenery. And the Blue Mountain out there ahead of us. And I'm not going to fly in here. Number one, the road is kind of bumpy, and number two, you just kind of want to keep the neighbors happy. The trucks flying in here at 15 mile an hour over the speed limit isn't going to make anybody happy. So you just take your time coming in, hover right around the speed limit, and everybody stays happy that way. Here and no trucks are here. Oh, and a little bit rough. gonna go flying in here, number one, and make a lot of dust. But number two, I guess there's a lot of potholes. It looks like they filled it in with this, I guess it's number 2 stone, but a little on the rough side. Now, do I want to go to the left or to the right to spin around? Doesn't much matter. I guess I'll hug the right side, spin left. I don't know. Yeah. And then I'll take the side closest to the door, I guess. That'll make it easier if another truck comes in here, I believe. I don't know. Like I said, I don't come in here too often, so I don't know what best procedure is, but I gotta come down here where it's pretty wide, and I'm still probably, maybe I'll be able to sweep it around. I don't know. We'll see with this turning radius. Yeah, we did. Now, it looks like you almost got to put the truck right up against that curb to get the hose on. Again, I've got to learn where to put the truck to get the hose connected. It looks like you gotta get close to that curb. I don't want to hit it because I might tear a mud flap off if I do. So I don't want to do that. But I want to get pretty close. That should do it, I hope. If not, we'll be coming back out and moving it. All right, so we're hooked up and loading. It took a while to figure it out. Got my snack here I'm gonna eat after I'm done talking to you. Yeah, it took a little while to figure out a few things in here. I didn't know what it was set at. It's set for an 8,000 gallon tank. And we could just leave it there. You don't have to keep changing the setting. Just turn it off at about 62 and we'll be good to go. And because most of the time it's going to be the 8s running in and out of here, not the 6s. So rather than make those guys change them all the time, we'll just stop it short and then everything will be good to go. And I hit the reset button. That way they can load their full 8. If you don't hit the reset button, then they're only going to get about 3,000 gallons or 2,000 gallons that are loading. It's going to shut off on them. So you got to make sure you hit the reset if you're going to play that game where you don't set the value at 6,250 instead of 8,000. But we're loading. I think we got it figured out. I'm going to call my one buddy, actually the owner operator. He runs this a lot when we get out of here and have signal. I was going to call him here, but there is no phone service here whatsoever. So I got to wait till I get out on the road to give him a buzz and just ask him a couple questions, pick his brain. But we're loading, and we got to watch the meter, and then when we're done, we button her up and get out of here. All right, so we're kind of in the less scenic part of this trip. I told you that 895 was very scenic, and then you come out here to 61, and it's just kind of meh. You know, it is just a 4-lane road. We're coming up on, we left Hamburg, we're coming up on Shoemakersville now. And, I mean, there's a lot of businesses along here. There's a small truck stop up ahead of us here. Big RV center on the right here. I think that's where my daughter bought her RV. They have a nice travel trailer that they have set up semi-permanent in the campsite here. They think they bought it here at Schaefer's. They're one of the bigger RV places in this area, but they got the truck stop over there where the Sunoco station is. And but yeah, it's just your ordinary highway, but it's something to talk about. It's part of my day. But I do like coming out here. It is not a bad run, and it is not even that much of a problem to do the testing on our own water like I told you that we have to do. The other plants have inline testing where it's tested, the water runs through slowly and it's tested, and then the pump will kick in the high gear and then it'll unload. But here the driver has to do the testing. All right, so we're here unloading, and I had to reposition the truck a little bit. I was just too far away. You got to get real close to yellow pole on the corner of the building and then swing it to the left so you can get the tail right into this little pothole. And the tandem's going in that pothole, and you're lined up good for the hose, and I just missed the mark. I was at the right place for the hose, but I was a little too far away from the building, and it didn't quite reach, so I had to back up and reposition a little bit. But we're in, all the testing was done, and we're unloading as we speak, so we should get out of here in about 20 minutes. I know how fast pump 2 works over there in silo 2. I don't know how fast this one works, but probably similar. So we're in good shape. Like I said, I just want to stay ahead of those other guys. I don't like holding people up because I'm a little slower, especially, you know, once I get the hang of it, and if I come over here enough times, I'll get in a groove, and I'll be able to keep a move on and won't hold anybody up. But I just hate holding people up and making them wait on me. All right, well, we're done with that third load, first one to Reading, and now we're coming here into New Ringgold, and boy, do I have a knack for finding slow vehicles. All the way from 61 over here, about 6 vehicles up from me is a piece of farm equipment, and so we've been dragging tail all the way across here. I think he might have finally turned off because we're moving. He might have turned up one of these side roads. But yeah, 30 miles an hour all the way across here. So boy, the last few days I've had a knack for finding this slow stuff, and I'm trying not to get upset, but I'm kind of getting a little torqued up. Plus a little bit of information I got while I was delivering this load didn't sit too well with me either. So I'm kind of in a bit of a rough mood at the moment. So put the sun visor back up. I don't need that anymore. Yeah, this is a tight town. Look at this, all these trucks here. Oh, that piece of farm equipment is still up there. He's gonna go straight, and I gotta ride him all the way back to the well, I guess. Ah, jeez. This is fast turning into an irritating night. And I hate when that happens, because I mean, we all get days like that. It's part of life, and these vlogs are kind of lifestyle videos. But I hate when it happens and I end up getting a little bit on the negative side, you know, on video day. But I've kind of got to that point now. I know I'm going to catch up to this dude, and I'm going to have to ride slow the rest of the way back to the well, because I don't know where he's going. But I caught him all the way back there at 61, and he just went through town here, and he went out the other side. So I don't know if he's transporting or if he's going to one of his fields or what the heck he's doing. I think it's a pickup truck pulling something, but it's wider than the lane, because he sticks out over into the other lane, the oncoming traffic lane. So that's why he's going kind of slow, and then he's got to nearly probably stop when traffic's coming at him. So a little bit agitated right now. I have no idea what it actually is, but it's pretty doggone wide. It's way wider than the pickup truck that's pulling it. So this is what I'm dealing with all the way back to the well. So I guess we'll talk to you over there a little bit. All right, so we're here loading the last one up, and I got to apologize slightly for being a little negative in that last video clip. The slow mover kind of rattled me a little bit because I had gotten some news that I'm not digesting too well when I was down at the plant. So the combination of those two kind of put me in a little bit of a funk at the moment. So we'll get over it, I guess, but for now, we're loading up this last one, and then we got to take it down and deliver it, and then come back, and I got to top it off because I think there's a night shift driver that's running the truck after I get out of it. So I got to keep it topped off for him. Hopefully he does the same for me. Not a fan of sharing trucks, but it is what it is for now. All right, loaded and rolling with the last one. We did get loaded before the first of the other two trucks got back here. So that is a good thing. We may encounter him on the way out this road. I don't know. because that's where we encountered him when we were going with the other one. He was coming in this road while I was going out. So if I leave the camera in long enough, I may see him coming out. Or may see him coming in while we're going out. Now, I gotta lock the drives in here, because this is a hard pull and the road crowns, and it was gonna hop, skip, and jump a little bit there as it was, even with them locked in, because it's such a steep crown right there. Here comes the other driver now. So we should be all right getting unloaded down there, because we got out onto the main road before we met up with them. All right, so that's the pothole that we line the tandems up in. You drop the tandems in that pothole, and you'll be right in line for the hose. But you also have to be kind of close enough to the building and the trough, because the first time I came in here, I was a little bit out further, and the hose didn't want to reach the truck. So yeah, this time we had it dialed in. We were able to come right around that corner and set up right where we needed to be to hook the hose up. But of course, before we could hook the hose up, we had to sanitize everything and then get our sample beaker and grab a sample and test everything, and then we hooked up and then we unloaded. So we're in the process of unloading right now. We should be done in about 20 minutes, and then we'll head on back up there. I don't know where I'm going to talk to you. I don't know if I'm going to talk to you en route or back at the fuel stop or back at the yard. All right, so we are coming up on Leesport, and right now, I was gonna say, every light through town was green. Which one's gonna turn red first? And it was the first one that turned red first. See, they're all green up there yet. Now watch, let's see if they all... Come on, dude, what are you doing? I don't think he's too sure of himself on that motorcycle. He looks a little bit wobbly. I'm gonna get around him if we can, as long as these lights stay green. Stay green, stay green. Ooh, just barely. To say, all these lights have been green since I topped that hill and turned the camera on. Okay, this one stayed. Let's see if this one will stay. That dude's got his high beam on too. Oh my God. He's back there far enough. I get back. Oh, every time I look in that right mirror, I get blinded because he got a high beam on that motorcycle and he's got it on. Pretty bright. Anyway, we are done. We are headed back, and I think we might have missed a nice sunset here. Looks like we're just a little bit too late. The sky is orange though, but I think the clouds might have been lit up pretty good a little earlier, but we were tucked in that corner where the silos were and the unloading station was, so we didn't get to see it. So. But anyway, we got one stop before we get back to the yard, and that's to top off these tanks for who I believe is going to be a night shift driver coming out later tonight. Alright, so we're done and we're parked. All I got to do is post-trip walk around, finish up the paperwork, and then I'm out of here.